Who is this? Oh, Jag, Lawrence speaks. Oh, y'all already in here. That's what's up. What's up? What's up? I am, I'm here. I am here. I am here. What's up? And y'all read what the hat say, because that's what I want the haters to do. Want the haters to not be this. Don't be a, you dig? Shout out to my boy Tommy Gunn. I've been I've been telling him like, man, I need to get one of these hats. We're gonna push them too. If y'all want one, I'll send y'all where y'all can go get one. But you know, LA natives, we gotta have our own thing. We gotta have our branding. And I think this is genius because it's not being disrespectful or nothing. It's just saying um, appreciate what you got and don't covet what others got. Just enjoy life. Don't be a hater. That's basically what it is. Don't be a salty B word. And I'm just saying B word because of the algorithm. But for real, like what 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 use does it do for you to just be salty? What's up, Auntie Leah? What's up, Yvonne? Yeah, it doesn't make any doesn't it doesn't do you any, like you'll just go to sleep with that on your heart and wake up with all that stress and still be hate and still be a salty. Be a saltine. And when I say salty, I'm talking about a saltine cracker too. It could be a salty B word, you could be a salty cracker. Quit being salty. Just don't be salty. You know what I'm saying? You be sweet. If you be sweet, well see, don't be sweet to everybody. You know? That's where you get the 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 what do you call them? The insects. They come through. But no, don't be salty either. Don't be a salty. If you don't know what salty means, y'all know. Y'all don't know. I can't explain it. I just gotta say, you know. But yeah, don't be one of them. It's a lot of people that don't have talent, don't have real ambition or talent, and they see others and how they have been successful. Like for instance, you see somebody who's doing their thing and they naturally are good at what they do. They do their thing, and then next thing you know, you'll have your congratulators, some people that are, oh, okay, I'm cool. I like what you're doing. Oh, keep doing what you're doing. But behind your back, they talking like, well, they only got this because of this, and they, like being salty, being a salty B word. That's it. Speaking of salty, I pulled up to the neighborhood because is this no? I think it's across the street. I'm finna pull up to where Marvin Gaye was unalived. I'm pulling up to where he was unalive. I'm right here. If y'all know the story, Marvin Gaye, what's going on? Very successful. He had hits after hits. He's Motown legend. Did his own thing, 70s and 80s, and then I think what 83, his pops unalive him right here at this house. We about to pull up, and Jag is in the building. Does it say 125K, Jag? Or you almost? Almost. You getting there?
We get in there, I think.
Almost. Almost. Welcome, Jaguar. Just letting everybody know they should not be salty. They should not be salty B words. But no, I'm pulling up to a legend's home. It's legendary house. Hold on. In case you don't know where I'm at, this is where Marvin Gaye used to live. Right here. This is where
Mm.
he got unalive. This is the exact house. It still ain't. They didn't change it. They haven't done too much. I mean, of course, it's gated. But yeah, this is where he got unalive by his dad.
That yard looks like.
Yeah.
It could use a little tending to.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is where he got unlocked right here.
Looks a little overgrown. What's going on over there?
Yeah. I don't know who owns it currently, but this is it. You see the back house right here. That's a hella back house. Looks real nice.
Yeah.
Um, Probably had the studio right there. I'm
Chalet
sure that's what that
style.
was. I don't know if that was originally there. That's nice. The dragon. Um, yeah, this is the spot. Let me see. Oh, is this alley open? Oh, okay. I can go through here. No trespassing. Okay, all right, no trespassing. Yeah, so we getting a full 360 of the house.
Hmm.
That's a fig tree right here. Um, oh, it looks like kind of like a low key it's been abandoned. Look at this. Look at this.
Low key.
I mean, yeah. Look, I mean,
I
yeah.
bet you the
Nobody's
I
in
bet
this.
you the crackheads around there know how to get in there at night.
Well, exactly. I mean, this
Set
is
up
a nice
solo
piece of
disco.
property. This is a
It
nice piece of
is.
property. Look at this. Look at this. It's like he had the well, it looks like what kind of trees are those? I mean, a lot of vegetation. Look like some grapevine, and this is still this is still part of the property. This is no. Okay, this is the end of it right here. This is the neighbors here. Yeah, this is where this is where Marvin Gaye was unalive, y'all. Right here in
Mm.
L.A. This used to be the considered the Black Beverly Hills. Yeah, I don't think nobody lives in here like that, bro.
What
If I
neighborhood
had
is
this piece
that?
of property, um, BPS hood. Well, let me say it in regular square terms. BPS is the hood, but this will be considered West Adams. This will be considered West Adams.
Okay.
But yeah, this is here. Let me actually pull it up a little bit so we can really see. Yeah, it looks abandoned. Mom, man, if I had this property, there's so much that I would do. Number one, it definitely just needs to be like restored, almost like a dang on like how Motown restored those houses in Detroit where Motown started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like I think for the most part that's been abandoned. I'm gonna
Those
find
are
out who
cars. What kind of cars are those?
where. Oh, looks like a Corolla, it's a Toyota and something else. I'm all in they shit. They probably gonna start busting. Okay, so yeah, this will be considered West Adams, and then over on this side is Western Heights. It's kind of you know, no, it's still a nice looking house. It's still a
Somebody
nice looking
asked, is
house.
that Baldwin Hills?
No. It's nowhere. Well, I'm gonna
No.
say nowhere near. It's Baltimore Hills is some miles west, a few miles west. But this is where like Ray Charles lived in his neighborhood. I think, and Brad Pitt still has a house not too far from here. Brad Pitt still lives over in this area.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I pulled up on Brad a couple of times. You wouldn't know it's his house though because he keeps it low key. But it's a nice piece of property. This is a nice house. Y'all see back there? Like this is a nice house. I swear. Yeah, Marvin Gaye, unalived, 30 something, 33 years ago. Is that 33 or 43? No, 43.
So his dad was living in that house too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is Marvin Gaye's property, and very nice looking neighborhood too. I mean, this neighborhood. Look, y'all see this. These are the houses, the old Victorian houses. A lot of them are still the same. They didn't really tear many down. Look at this. Like this is for LA. This is a big house, 3 stories.
Yeah.
Big house for LA. It's a pretty big house next to it. You could tell they like restored it, but it's an old Victorian home. And yeah, yeah, that's this is yeah. Ideally, if I had some money, I would have wanted to get a property over here, like for real, because this neighborhood is very low key, and it's not like even though I said it's BPS neighborhood, it's you don't really see ninjas over here like that. It ain't popping like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see the palm trees, the Mexican palms over there. Y'all know after about 100 years, them things you see how they're leaning, gangster leaning, right? After 100 years, they fall. So they're probably
Oh,
close to 100 years. Yeah, after 100 years, they're done. They fall. You got to look at how tall they are, and if you go down, like if I pull up on one, like this pine, this is a big pine, I believe. Nice, you can tell it's been here, been here. But those Mexican palms, they're not native to Southern California like that. They were transplanted here, and they survive here very well. So they just kept them, and then yeah, after about 100 years, they just fall. So I think we're close to about 100 years when it comes to the Mexican palms. Yeah, but
Auntie Leah, I
yeah,
don't
this
know
is
what you're talking about. Going back to Cali is a long flight. From where you are, it's barely 4 hours.
yeah, it ain't 4 hours. It ain't 4 hours. 4 hours is a beast. But hey, you know,
It's not.
I
It's
mean, 4 hours ain't
nothing.
really 4 hours. 8 hours. An 8 hour flight, like going to like South America or something. Yeah, that's
Going
a
back and
beast.
forth to Japan from Philadelphia, I
Oh,
remember
that's
that.
whoo,
16
16 hours.
hours.
16 hours. Yeah. Yep. Um, but yeah, that's what Marvin Gaye was unalive. That's his house. That was his house. I gotta find out to see who owns it now. Be very interested to see. I would love, like I said, that should be like a national monument type of deal. Like honestly, if it was up to me, restore it, put his you know, put all the stuff that made Marvin Gaye in there, make it a museum. You know, that's what I would do. That's just what I would do.
I mean, if you did that, then that would just give, the people that are left behind in his life something else to fight over. Look at what they're doing with the Michael Jackson movie now. It's really sad.
Yeah. I mean,
No, no, Paris Jackson, she's already tripping.
uh huh.
The movie's almost made $1 billion and none of it has gone to the estate. She wants to know where's the bread.
It's going to that. It's going to the lawyer who's the EP. He's the head of the estate. That's who it's going to.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you pull up to Brad Pitt's house, he got like these what do they call these? I forgot what they call these plants, but them things can get high. Them things can get high real quick. I think he has
Yeah.
like his is like 30 feet high. I think he's on the other side of Western. Um. Anyway, yeah, people trip up when the money when that money come in. People show who they really are. You know what I'm saying? Um. Yeah, but anyway, Marvin Gaye. That's a perfect example of someone who had somebody salty in their life. I think his father was a musician. Am I correct?
They had a complicated relationship.
I heard Marvin Gaye's dad was a cross dresser, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then there's rumors about Marvin Gaye was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that? What do you think?
I don't know.
People be saying
I
all
don't
kind of
know.
stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
What
I
I
mean,
do know
I guess.
is he watched Tammy Terrell get the snot knocked out of her on several occasions and
Mm,
never did anything to help.
Cold deal. Cold deal.
He
And she
died of a
died
walk
young
away like
too.
Usher did.
She died young too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You're talking about 4 rent, 1 bedroom. Can't rent nothing on this side of the town like that. Yeah. But I mean, regardless to what, rest in peace to Marvin Gaye is a cold situation. But that's what the music industry will do, right? Like we were just offline talking about some stuff about a few people. Um, let's just say, this whole whack 100 debacle, this whole situation with what's his face? You know who I'm talking about, Ray J.
Rayford,
The situation with Rayford, yeah. Now it looks like there's a whole lot going on in the investigative sides of the game. Thank you, Alina. No, we can't confirm that. I can't confirm that. This is what I heard. I just was hearing stuff. People have all kind of theories and stuff of artists. Like I remember going to Trinidad and Tobago, and the biggest artist there, Marshall Montano. He is like the Michael Jackson of Trinidad and Tobago. And they had all kind of rumors about this guy, and I just felt so bad, like the gay stuff, and they, people just do that. They'll just come up with all kind of. I mean, we don't know if it's real or not. I can't confirm Marvin Gaye, but what we can confirm,
as the legend goes, as the legend goes, his timeline fell in proximity with some missing SEX workers
yeah,
that he had
yeah,
known to had spent some time with.
right, right,
So
right. So we don't
uh,
know, but hey, we don't know.
we
We
started
don't know, but
looking
we
into
don't
that
know.
years ago, and then I walked away from it. We
Some
started
stuff is
looking
kind of.
looking into it years ago
And why'd you walk away?
because of the police cover up involvement aspect of it. It became very obvious to me that that could have been something that they could have been using to frame him with, because they were
Of who he
trying
was,
to hold something over his head.
just like anybody, because he was getting a lot more political as he grew as an artist, right? What's going
Yeah,
on, and
yeah. What's
yeah,
going
very
on?
beautiful
He was
songs.
he was affecting a lot of things.
Yeah,
Very beautiful songs. And then he came with
yeah.
sexual healing.
Well, I mean, that's the anti. The whole stuff with Diddy, the freak offs, and you could connect that to Aleister Crowley and stuff like that. That you
Uh-huh.
our ancients, when it was when you were dealing with that type of energy, that's what it was. It was healing. That's so I get where he was coming from. Sexual healing. Yeah, he was doing a lot. And at the time, that was like,
Listen to me. That was the record.
I'm, I'm saying, who
That was
produced
the
that? I
record.
never I
And it
never
was
thought
good
about
for
this. It's,
him.
it's who produced that? Because he produced too, right? Didn't Marvin Gaye produce? I think Marvin Gaye
Get up, get
produced.
up, get up, get up.
Yeah, that was a
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake
that was man. If anybody has something negative to say about that record, something wrong with you. I mean, of course, if you're a religious zealot, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but yeah.
See, that's the thing.
Any
Like, what it was promoting was soul connection, human connection. normalizing the conversation of, sharing love with someone. Like there
Hmm.
was a lot more to it than just sex.
Of course.
um but it's kind of wild because, like, Marvin had some wild stuff. Like, he had a demo that was never, mass produced or released, called Sanctified Pussy.
I remember you telling me about that. Sanctified.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
Sexy Red
he was
would do a
praising the
remix.
power. He was no, 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 no. No.
No, hers would be
She can't
Sanctified.
do nothing that has
She was
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
it would say
Funkified.
Sanctified. Yeah.
Funkified.
Sanctified.
Funkified. How about that? And they can
Yeah.
get Brad on the remix so she can make some money and get her house back. Now, it's yeah. It was very different. But basically he was just talking about the healing and the spiritual properties of what you can get from a woman, being with a woman. He was actually
Yeah.
glorifying the female
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And it's and that's interesting because that was at a time when they were trying to promote the same sex agenda, you know what I mean, real heavy, and he was
Hmm.
leaning into, you know
Hmm.
a more traditional
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
So I
That
don't know. I
connection.
mean, he was always kind of going against the grain a little bit when it came to what the industry want. Like, he knew how to flavor things where it was undeniable, but to a certain
Hmm.
extent where it pushed back at certain agendas that were propagated. So, I
Okay.
mean, that was the thing about Marvin Gaye. I used to listen to Marvin Gaye, nothing but Marvin Gaye. I had his anthologies, I had all of his records. Me and a roommate of mine, when I met him, he was collecting everything Marvin Gaye, and we would turn Marvin Gaye on and cook Sunday brunch and just listen to Marvin Gaye. And I would study him. I would study him. One of my favorites, Just to Keep You Satisfied. Oh, what a great record. You've never heard such a beautiful Kiss My Ass and Get On Your Way.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, he even had a nice way of saying go F yourself. Melodic, beautiful. It was right in theme with your hat that you had on just a second ago.
Don't be a salty bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That was real cute with the Morton's girl on it.
yeah, my guy got that's his brand, and I said, yeah, man, keep pushing that. I mean, he got other stuff too, but I've been asking. He's like, bless me with one of them, and yeah, he got them for sale. So obviously, if y'all want one, y'all come get one. Um, but yeah, hold on, I'm sitting over here, just pulling up to this building real quick. The
I see.
this yeah, you can tell some
Salute Noah.
Jamaicans, some Jamaicans are. I smell Jamaican food, and I was sitting over here like, why is this big old Crip killer? I told y'all we were in BPS hood. Big old Crip killer. This is some LA shit for you right here. That's some LA shit for you. Big old Crip killer. Wow, crazy. Um, but yeah, look, y'all. People be salty over Well, I think saltiness really the main motivation for somebody being salty is really just haters. They hate. Like if you look at all the people that attach themselves to you on this platform and other platforms in a negative manner, for the most part, they've been jealous or envious. I think they're jealous and envious of what your natural talent, your charisma, you know, uh, and they got to dim that light, so they got to be salty. Like, think about it. There's really no reason for anybody to hate on Jag, to be honest. But they've come up with so many stories. That's why I was when we were talking about the Marvin Gaye situation. All these stories, none could be verified, but you got these stories, and that's likely CIA that has something to do with the Marvin Gaye disinformation. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a buck, because
That's
that's what
part
they
of
were
the
doing.
reason why I'm just saying that's part of the reason why I kept my comments tight about that, because what I was looking into, that's exactly what it was looking like.
Yeah, and that's likely what it is. We just got to start calling it out. Like, I'm not, number one, I'm not afraid to call out, especially these people who's supposed to protect and serve, and nah, like, there needs to be some reparations for the poor communities in inner cities that were affected by that chemical warfare that's called the crack epidemic. There needs to be reparations for, and that goes for black, white, Hispanic, anybody that was affected. If you sold dope, you can't get nothing. If your life was affected by it, then there needs to be some reparations from these governments, those three-letter governments, organizations, because they did that. They did that, and we should not be afraid to call them out. Just like a lot of people are afraid to talk about them Jeff files. Like, I sent you something, and I think maybe y'all can talk about it. But I just got word about the Kushners buying an island off of Albania that already got like underground tunnels.
I
It's
was telling
it's
you
like,
about that. I was telling you about that, remember?
yeah, you were, and then when I saw it, I said, oh, I didn't know it already had like underground tunnels and stuff. Man, I'm saying we need to start. People need to start talking and not being afraid and saying something. Like, say it, just say it. Because the more people are like this, not saying nothing, the more the bullshit just keeps going. But I digress. I digress.
We're
I literally,
trained to be afraid.
yeah, that's true.
We're trained to be
That's true.
afraid.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
Look at what's going on with
Um.
this whole situation with this young with these, this young man, Carmelo.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
that aren't speaking up, that should be speaking up, and
Yeah.
it makes you wonder why. Like, it really makes you wonder why. Like, why is everybody being so, like, afraid to acknowledge the fact that Charleston White was most likely put on those people to gather intel, to bring back to the other side, so that they knew how to meticulously pick this apart, and also to use him as a measure to keep them in line, and
Right.
then do what he does, flip on
Yeah.
them and act crazy,
Right. Yeah.
and then use them for content. Like, why is everybody so afraid to accept the fact that y'all have been sitting here watching, promoting, and encouraging probably one of the CIA's greatest assets that they've had against the black community in the past 10 years?
And CIA for him was stand for Cooning in Action, because that's what he's doing. For real.
When he sat
Yeah,
there,
y'all.
when he sat there online talking to that young man's father, Mr. Anthony, and talking about how he's the one that convinced them to trust. the white lawyer. He's the one that convinced them to trust the mostly all white jury. He's the one that convinced them to go along with it. And then all of a sudden, oh, they in it for the money. They use me. They in it for the money. Well, if that was the case, you would have seen that long before just now. Why is that your conversation now? That GoFundMe has been around for quite some time. If you expected that they was all about the money, why didn't it happen until after Metcalf started acting a fool and going crazy on social media? Why didn't you say it
Right.
before? Why didn't you walk away before the trial? Why didn't you walk away before the verdict? Why didn't you call
Right.
it out? Why didn't you like stop?
Nah, it's a little too convenient.
He's so it's very convenient and it lines up with this timeline of uh and then they fired some woman. They fired a woman that works for the prison system. They went on her Facebook and they saw some comments that
Oh,
she made against the
she made some negative
Metcalfs,
comments. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
and they fired her.
I heard about that.
And I'm just
Interesting.
sitting there like, that's wild.
Well, well,
Because of her opinion.
that's the world we're living in right now. People can't have um, opinions. They can't. You gotta go along to get along. That's kind of why I was saying about people not like being afraid to say certain stuff. Now, depending on her position, where she worked or whatever. Number one, I mean, for the most part, just keep your comments to yourself. If you're worried about your job, if you're worried about this, keep your comments to yourself. But that's what they hang over people's heads. Again, we don't have a social credit score yet, but that's pretty much what that is. Social credit score. You understand? Um,
They got
but yeah,
social
she should.
credit scores. I already know. I already know I'm lacking.
Yeah, I'm a 400. I'm 400. Yeah, but what was I gonna get into? Because I mean, we was gonna get more into just being people being salty bitches. I was gonna talk about that whack 100 situation and the Ray J
Which
situation, but
part?
maybe we could, we could discuss it in another fashion. Don't have to talk about them specifically. I'm just done with the people in
I
quote
find it
unquote
funny
hip
that
hop.
Adam 22. I just find it funny that Adam 22 got so much to say about it and him and Wax supposed to be boys. Ray J's his client. Why would you snitch on your boy client?
I think it's a setup. I honestly think it's a setup. They're in it. They're all in on it. It was Operation Get Dumbass, Get Ray J. And they got him caught up. That's just what I think. That's what I think. Certain
It's looking
people
that
can be
way.
played. Certain people can be played, and I think you got to look at who had a lot to lose. Now, number one, what recently just happened with Ray J. Besides the fight, him talking about the whole his with his heart issue. I don't know. I'm not in his medical records. I don't know, but I know that he was going after the Kardashians. He was definitely going after the Kardashians, and he was ready to. He said he
Yeah.
was ready to. He was ready to let it off. Right? Like he said, he had evidence of the crimes they did. Am I
There
wrong?
were already things that were made there were already things that were made public, and part of what was made public was that tape wasn't a private moment that was leaked. That tape was a business deal and mama was the broker.
Yep.
Chris Jenner
So
304'd her daughter out so that they could get a reality TV show and become the brand that they are now.
yeah. Now if Ray J
And Ray
was
J
ready
was
to
running
come
his
out,
mouth.
If he really had evidence and he was ready to come out and just, I mean, if he was really on it and he really, I mean, I'm pretty sure he did. He just kept his mouth shut because I think he still gets paid, right, from that whole little situation, or was it a one time thing?
Well, she gets paid. He gets payments. She gets
Oh damn!
paid. The
Ugh!
Kardashians, they get residuals. He got the stud fee.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Well, if
And
he
just
if
to
he
be
was
clear,
really,
because there's someone in the chat named Bart the Entertainer or Bar the Entertainer, or is that Barth Entertainer?
doesn't
I'm
matter.
not sure, but whichever one it is. Well, I done said it all three ways. So, you know, hopefully I got one of them right. Let's be very clear. Character issues are one thing. But if you honestly believe that this nation doesn't have a race issue, you're in denial. And it's disrespectful to sit there and say we don't have a race issue, we have a character issue, and to try to just completely expel race. If we didn't have a race issue, this case wouldn't have gotten racial as quickly as it did. If we didn't have a race issue, you wouldn't have the amount of content based around race that we have. If we didn't have a race issue, you wouldn't see all of these things happening that are happening based around race. If we didn't have a race issue, there would be no Chud the Builder. If we didn't have a race issue, people like Sneeko and Nick Fuentes wouldn't have any real value. If we didn't have a race issue, Candace Owens wouldn't be the superstar that she is. The Hodge twins, Myron,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Funky and Fit and Fat, Nasty, whatever they want to be. If we didn't have a race issue, the term chimping out wouldn't have become so normalized in the way that it's become in the past year. If we didn't have a race issue, you can't say that.
I'm
Not with
sure
clear
whoever
conscience.
that bar the entertainer, whoever you are, I'm sure I could just imagine. I can just guess who you are as far as where you categorize yourself. You're very confused, sir, ma'am, whoever you are, because this country has always had a race issue. And if you want to talk about character, we're 250 years into the birth of this nation. Let's get into the character of the forefathers. Let's just start with um, George Washington, and then, we can get into Thomas Jefferson as well. These are the forefathers of this country. Let's look at their character. But George Washington is deified with the Masons and stuff like that. And, he's the first president. Do you know the atrocities that man has done? Hmm? So if we're going to talk about character, yeah, let's talk about the characters of the people who founded this nation. Let's do that. Let's really get into that. You know what I'm saying? A person who's talking like that, like I said, I could imagine what type of individual they are. They're very ill-informed and they're likely anti-black. I'll just say it like that because that's a dog whistle. A character. I just saw someone post about, and I sent it to you, Jag. What was it? It was the about the PDF ring with the animals. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you, those were white men. There was nobody black.
Yeah.
Most of the people that were tied to the Epstein situation, rich white men. So we can talk about character there as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you do want to have a healthy debate, just email me and we can talk about it. But you sound like somebody who's sitting over here throwing dog whistles, and we not with that. Again, quit being a salty racist bitch. How about that?
Well, this is the thing. And Yvonne, you said something really interesting. You just said that you don't believe that it started out racial, but it became racial. And I would have to agree with you to a certain extent, because the truth is we don't really know what happened. We still don't know what happened. What we do know is that
There's
these boys' father have come out talking all kinds of crazy. We don't know how he raised his kids. We don't know what he raised his kids to believe. We don't really know all that happened in that tent, what the conversation was, what the dialect was. What I will say is that a very immature situation, because it was an immature situation. Let's be clear. Fighting about who gets to sit in a tent or who doesn't get to sit in a tent. It wasn't that deep that it required for people to get into a physical scuffle about it, regardless of as to what. Um, it didn't need to be in that. And by the way, Southern Patriot, let's be clear. Ain't nobody stealing no watermelons over here. We have farms. We grew our own. We had problems with white people coming and
now
stealing off of our
hold
land
on.
down in the
Let me
South
see
when
this
my
clown.
granddaddy was sharecropping.
So he said, watermelon felon channel. What are you? You're a
Yeah.
patriot, huh? This whole country was stolen. I mean, it's funny they talk. It's like they be deflecting like a mug. This whole
No,
country was
listen
stolen.
to
This
me.
whole country was genocided
Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. This whole country was a straight it was a straight smash and grab, and there was a bunch of grape and a bunch of
and genocide and a bunch of slavery.
people that want to come down here own first. You better look your own. But then again, they came over here on that type of time because they were no longer welcomed where they were, because they were a bunch of devil worshippers and Satanists who were looking for a place where they could go and do their thing.
And you are a descendant of those. I'm talking about whoever wrote that watermelon felon channel. Get your punk ass up out of here, you salty piece of.
Well, they came through here to say that so that they could get under somebody's skin and make somebody upset and to make people feel a certain type of way or whatever the case may be. That's why they came here. They came here to carry on and to act a fool. And I'm going to tell you something right now. For everything, for every insult that you could hurl, we got facts that we can throw back at you about your own kind.
Documented
Like, I
hundreds.
understand why they need to deflect. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say
Correct.
you're right. You're right. We got hundreds of years, damn near 1,000 years of evidence, context. Y'all want to talk about a situation where I like I said, there's people coming out now. I think there's new people coming out saying, that witnesses that were, I don't know if they were barred or they weren't allowed to speak, but new witnesses are coming out. Like, come on. So there's definitely going to be a new trial. It has to be, and then all it's going to do is get y'all crispy saltines mad. And when I say crispy saltines, I'm talking
No,
about the racists.
what they're really mad about is that a riot didn't break out.
Hmm.
That's what they're really mad about.
Hmm.
They wanted a
Hmm.
riot to break out. That's why they're so upset. That's why they keep pushing it. That's why they got that man out there talking crazy, getting on podcasts, saying all kinds of nut stuff. He talking about he Native American. Guess what? So are we, sir. You know, a lot of people that have the complexions that we have didn't come on no boat either. They were already here too, sir.
A lot of them, lots of them.
You
My
know,
people
so
included.
my people in listen to me. I got Cherokee. I got Blackfoot.
Well, you can tell.
In my
You can just
blood.
look at our skin. You can look at our skin tone and tell. And they know that. That's why I was saying about Buckwheat, the character who played Buckwheat, and how they were making fun of us even in that time, and had a whole little thing on his head that said engineer, engine. Now y'all
Yeah.
from Indians, y'all that were put on the dolls roles, maybe y'all know, but yeah, yeah. But
Well, let's just
anyway,
be clear. They ain't got enough melanin to hold it all down either. So, they still a
you you
little
know
paler than the light skins.
that guy who
They more like Navajo.
remember that remember that show that I mean the commercial back day with the Indian crying, looking at all the garbage and stuff on the highway. Remember that?
Do I?
Think about it. It was a commercial back there. It was an Indian. He always would have the tear in his eye, and Native American cat, and he would look
Maybe
at
that
the
was a
camera,
West.
be a tear in
Maybe
his
that was a
eye.
West Coast thing. Maybe that was a
No, it
West
was
Coast
no, it
thing.
was
I don't
like in this.
remember
It was
seeing
even
any.
before. It probably was before I was. It was like in the late '70s, I think, early '80s maybe. But that guy was he wasn't even Indian. He was like Italian. So
Huh.
they took
I
someone.
mean, well, that
They
go
took
to
someone.
show
Number
you. Wait a minute. Auntie Leah said no melanin felons.
nah,
That's cute.
the
I
no
like
melanin
that.
felons. I like that. We need to put that on the shirt. We need to put that on the hat. The no melanin felons. That's a good
Charleston,
one.
get to work.
Well, Charleston ain't gonna do that. He don't want to upset Massa. Yeah, yeah. Um.
He's sitting over there with federal inmate gangster doing interviews about why he turned on the family. Like, it's just getting to the point where it's starting to become real cringy watching these people um grift off of these people's pain. And it's just hurting me because you can tell when you listen to these people, the Anthony family,
Mhm.
um, they not the smartest people. They not. They not the brightest. They're not. They playing on these people top. I don't like that. I don't like that part either.
Mhm.
And I also don't like that like the way they set this whole thing up, just them and the lack of guidance and the lack of just just the way they lacking in so many different departments. And you want to know what a lot of people are they from Louisiana, they not from Texas.
Oh, okay.
They Bayou. They moved to Texas. And it makes sense. I can tell by the like there's so many things that's wrong about this whole situation. It's like they perfectly orchestrated and crafted how they were going to turn this into a race war and use this situation to do it. Ugh. You can tell they simple, humble folk. And this boy was probably going to be like one of the first people in their family to actually make it into college. And
Yeah, he's a track star. He's promising future.
man, this whole situation is just bad.
Yeah.
And it goes to show
Well,
you how our society is because they turn this into an opportunity. Do you know how much money this case is making so many people on so many different levels? Media, the way it's generating media, the way it's generating, just like think about all of the money it's being passed around. Oh, and it's funny because the Metcalfs, they have their own GoFundMe set up too, and they're collecting.
I bet they are. How much is their GoFundMe?
Um, I think the one that I saw for Jeff Metcalf, he's trying to raise $1 million.
I'm sure he got it by
And
now
even
if he started
Ross,
it a couple hours ago. Aiden Ross has one.
Aiden Ross, no, Aiden Ross donated $10,000 to Jeff Metcalf.
Oh, oh, wow.
And I'm like, wow. Auntie Leah says it's north of 600K.
Yeah, I told you they can make it. They can raise $1 million like that. It's a shame, but they can. That's just I ain't much I can really say about that. That's just what it is. It sucks.
And it's kind of crazy that now all the celebrities are donating money, and I want to see it. I want to see where all of this money is going. I want to know who's running these accounts, because I'm telling you, I got a feeling they using some of these GoFundmes on some laundering shit. I got a feel. The
Yeah.
second that I saw Boosie jump in, I was already not trusting. But now 50 Cent, he wanna donate money. Everybody wants to donate money to GoFundMe. I'm like, and a
No,
hundred and fifty thousand dollar car.
50 Cent's not donating to the Metcalfs. He's talking about to the Anthony's, right?
No, yeah, he's donating to the Anthony's, but I'm saying, like, it looks real strange. Aiden Ross donating to Jeff Metcalf. As much money as he makes off of black people, so you gonna
Let me
take
address
all of that
something.
black dollar. You gonna take all of that black dollar and give it to that white man who called this young black boy a watermelon fella. Like, it's such in bad taste.
Let me address something real quick because someone put in the chat about how do we move forward, talking about we got one foot in the past, one in the future, and or whatever. We can't move forward. Blah blah blah. Let's start with this. Right. Let's right some wrongs. So, of course, we're going to talk about the past because guess what? Without the past, this country is not going to really move forward without addressing the past. That's like being in a marriage and the husband cheats or has an inappropriate relationship, and then he just stops and he's like, you know what, I'm sorry, and then he let's just say he doesn't even really change his behavior. He just kind of just says, okay, my bad, I'm sorry, and he still kind of he may not go have full intercourse. He probably go get a rub from the girl. I don't know. I'm just making an analogy. That's what this country has done to black people. This country has fucked black people and then stopped fucking black people, and now they just molesting them. Let's just that's what this country has done. So how
But
about
you can't even say that they stopped. You can't say that they stopped. They just found a new way to
no no no
do it. They
no
stopped doing the
I
bra and they
literally
just started wearing the prophylactic. They went from
well I'll
doing
just
bra
say
to putting on the prophylactic.
I'll say it like this country is based on racism. So you say, but the past is what holds people back. No, you got to
Can
acknowledge
I
the
say
past.
something? No, can I say
Go
something
ahead,
about
go
that?
ahead, go ahead.
If you do not acknowledge the past, you will not know where to go with your future. To not acknowledge the past is to leave yourself open and subject to possibly repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again.
Jake, you sound like a typical, and you may not be, but you sound like a typical apologist. This is what race. This is the mind. This is the word. This is the mouths or the thoughts of a racist. Oh, forget about the past. But your family has 300K in the bank, and it may not be directly tied to slavery and sugar plantations, cotton, none of that. But being white in this country, you could at least get 300K and put in your bank, and you could be okay. You see what I'm saying? Like let's keep it a buck. Like quit messing around and oh forget about the past. No, no. If it was the other way around, like what was that one movie? That was a one movie where they had it was like the whites were uh the blacks were the dominant class in this country. It was a very good movie. I think was it I forgot who was in it. Travolta was in it, I believe. If that was the current situation right now, really, I swear to God, those boys out there in Montana and Idaho, them places, y'all know I'm talking about those patriots. They'd be bombing all man. Stop. If you absolutely false my ass, if it was the other way around, where we were the dominant society, or let's just say we had all the resources and the money and all that, and y'all, we held y'all back, really? So you want to move forward from that?
Number
Okay,
one,
let's see how that
number
works.
one, number one, let's just be honest. If the shoe were on the other foot, it would never be that way because our people, we're not really the kind of people, it's not really our nature to be what I'll say is this. Our people are more sharing or more apt to sharing than
Hmm.
other races that I've seen. Um, and you can see it in the way culture is, in the way culture works here in the United States. Most of the things that are celebrated in pop culture come from Black culture. And the trends will start with us. We'll let them other races in, and then the next thing you know, people are pretending like they all came up with it all by themselves, and then they want to disconnect us
Oh,
from everything we put together, and that's just what's real.
Jag,
That's not,
Jag, did
when
you
I think
see?
about K-pop, like what the fuck
No,
is
wait,
K-pop?
hold on. No,
Like,
did you see the? Did you see the Asian girls doing the like HBCU, like doing the whole? You know how they come out during the the parade and doing all.
oh wait a
Did you
minute,
see
wait a
that?
minute. I saw the Asian girls doing the Asian girl marching
Like,
band doing the black girl
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and they say we don't have culture. They say we don't have culture here. They oh, you black Africans too. Y'all be on some black Americans don't have culture. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, but to address what old
That's
boy was
funny
saying,
because most of their stuff that they do, like their reality TV shows and all of their pop culture stuff, it's based off of what we're doing here. And they supposed to
yeah,
be the originals. But y'all be emulating us. So it's just
well, 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 the only thing I'll say is someone says you can't look back and try to move forward. No, no, we're gonna address the ills and we're gonna correct them. Like it says it in the Bible about like if I go in your house and I steal something from you and I can easily replace what I stole, and then I could atone for it. You get what I'm saying? If when it comes to taking someone's life, if we're going to talk about this cat here, um, get that hat off. Look at the state you in. You got one more time, Vito, whoever you are, because you
sad.
this is you. This is you. Don't be a salty bitch, Vito. You punk
I
bitch
just
mother.
find it funny that
Um,
Vito comes through here with a name. No, I just find it funny that he comes through with the name
Vito
Vito
Corleone,
Corleone. And I'm gonna tell you
Corleone.
something right now. No, well, number one, he's using the name of an imaginary gangster that
Uh
was,
huh.
you know, in the Godfather
In the
movie.
Godfather. Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. We have a hard. I have a hard. I came up with real gangsters with real mob. Like I know real mobsters. I know real gangsters. So I have a hard time acknowledging the fake ones. And all I can say to you, Vito, is God bless you. Have yourself a bowl of ziti and shut the fuck up. Like for real.
All I gotta say to Vito is, you ain't a crook, son. You're just a shook one. How about that? All right, look. It threw me off. I was gonna say some shit. I was basically gonna say as far as the whole thing with the case, the
Well, that
unalive
was
men of
the
blah
whole
blah blah.
purpose.
Yeah, well, I know. So my stance is this: that boy shouldn't have brought a weapon, but he had every right to defend himself. He shouldn't have unalived the kid, but hey, he did it. 2 years, 3 years max. He was underage. He should maybe be in jail until he's about 21, and then let him out. Of course, probation or whatever, all that. That's it. Because y'all normally would do that if it was just the other way around. We just had a case with I forget his last name. But rest in peace to that kid and that Mr. Chow bastard who essentially
Let me know when you
pow
can
pow
tap
the
me
kid in
in.
the back. Yeah, go ahead. You can go right now. A butterfly just landed in front of me. Beautiful.
No. Oh, awesome. No,
Go
but
ahead.
seriously though, someone just made a comment saying that, the Anthony family can still talk to Carmelo, but the Metcalf family can no longer talk to
Yeah,
Austin.
they
I mean,
can. Yeah, they can.
technically,
They can
actually,
call Dionne Warwick. They can.
you know what? I was gonna say, I hear where you're coming from, and
Whoopi
as a
Goldberg from the
mother
movie
who's lost a
Goals.
son, oh, okay, can't. All right,
No, I'm sorry.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to be
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
serious here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, now I'm really not interested because honestly, talking about Giovanni's death is not easy for me anytime I talk about it, and
No,
I
no,
get
no.
it.
I understand. I understand because I
I
mean
get it.
I'm not
I know the pain.
negating the
I know
fact.
the pain of losing a child. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to smell your child's dead corpse. I know what it's like to not be able to get the smell of your child's dead corpse out of your nose. I know what it's like to have that stuck in your membrane, in your mind, in your everything, visceral. I couldn't eat for 3 fucking months.
I bet.
Trust me. I know what it's like to sit there with your child's body preparing him for cremation as he thaws out. No one here is not acknowledging how hard it is to let go. No one. But you know what? They're not the only family that's ever lost a child. And for all of this pomp and circumstance we're making about a situation that we don't even have all of the details for, where evidence of the crime, what actually happened, or the incident, what actually happened is being hidden.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's alleged video.
Everybody should be a
There's
little bit,
witnesses.
everybody should be a little bit more respectful and give a fuck about the facts and the details because this so-called weapon that was used, people are now saying it was something that a lot of the kids on the track team use to sharpen their cleats, their spikes. It was a
Oh,
part of their
really?
equipment.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
And as somebody who was track and field, because I still haven't seen what the weapon looks like. Other people are saying we had those in
Well,
track
remember
and
we had
field.
the
And
police
guess what?
report.
If you going to a track meet, you would be keeping your equipment that you use for your track equipment in your bag. Like I had somebody jump in my comments saying Carmelo knew what he was gonna do when he left the house that morning and brought a weapon with him and he had it in his heart and I'm like, yo, where did you get that from? Because
So
the kid didn't testify.
that changes the whole thing because they were saying that he had a weapon. See, I look at the difference. I look at, like you said, the circumstances. If he had a weapon, which they're saying it was a knife, but if that was part of his, natural what he normally would bring, then that changes the whole landscape because that there was no premeditation. There was no you can't say that. You can't. They would have to retrial this for sure. They would have to retrial it.
Like I think that there's just a lot, a lot. Cat saying yes, it was a multi-purpose tool. So once again, you're sitting here making a whole y'all are saying the most. You were doing the most. Why do they have two different edits of that video of what happened underneath that tent? Why? Because the truth is, two families were ruined, not two lives, two families.
Yeah, yeah,
And let's be very clear about this. If those boys were roughing it, were rough, they were roughing that young man up, and he was trying to defend himself, all of that needs to be taken into consideration. Because that means the charge should have been manslaughter. It should have never been a red
it's
rum charge. It should have only been
yeah,
manslaughter.
yeah. I agree. I agree. I
Like,
agree.
how about that? How about that? Where is the mens rea? Where is the intent? Where is the premeditation? See, it would have been different if Carmelo had have gotten away from the situation and then took himself, got himself together, and lied, laid in wait, and then ran up on the boy and came and got him.
Mm-hmm.
See that? In that moment, you can call that premeditation.
Yep.
If there had been a scuffle, Carmelo went, got his little, his little weapon, and then came back and done that to the boy. That in that moment, yes, we can say premeditation. Because in that moment, mens rea, he decided after he got away from harm, after he got away from danger, to go back and do it. That's what happened to my son. There was a scuffle between my son and some other boys. Everybody scattered when my son pulled out his piece and said, "Yo, y'all better back up," because it was 5 against 1. And then my son turned, he bent down to pick something up off the ground rather than going and getting in the car with his god brother. And one of the boys came back, pulled his weapon out. And when my son stood up, he put 8 slugs in him. And they said he was defending himself. How? Whatever the issue was, he had gotten away. He came back. Carmelo Anthony didn't do that. And they're not making the tape public for everyone to see, which lets me know that there are details they don't want people deliberating over.
Yeah.
There are details they don't want the public, because guess what? If everything that they were saying and everything that they were doing was above the board and by the literally by the letter of the law, that videotape would be out. And they would say, "Look at your little innocent boy."
Right.
It would be out. Why ain't it out? Once again, you can say that he was asked to leave 15 times. Says who? All of the witnesses who apparently their stories were all
And
remarkably kind of the same. We're not quite sure.
well,
Once
even
again,
if he
y'all
was,
sitting here talking about how many times he was asked to leave. It didn't matter if he was asked to leave. If he wasn't hurting anyone, if he wasn't doing
you can't,
anything
you
to
shouldn't put
anyone,
hands
that
on him.
still didn't give anybody the right to put their
Yep.
hands on him.
Exactly. So kill all that.
Period. They
Yep.
could have easily, if they was that much in their feelings about it, went and got an authority figure. They could have went and got a coach. They could have went and got a
Exactly.
teacher. They could have went and got a security. They could have went and got anybody. It wasn't for none of them children to take it into their own hands.
Right. Yeah.
Who cares how many times they asked that boy to leave? Why don't nobody got the same smoke for the boy that they invited, that invited him in the tent? Because he was invited in that tent. He didn't just show up in that tent on his own. He didn't just decide to come. Someone called him over and said, "Hey, come over here and sit with us."
True.
Why didn't they Y'all got a lot of rap, but everything that y'all saying, it keeps skipping over basic truths that are not being acknowledged. Exactly. Carmelo's girlfriend's cousin invited him
Mm-hmm.
into that tent and then let him be accosted by his teammates and then tried to flip flop and
Mm-hmm.
pretend like he ain't know what was going on. And as much as I hate to say it, that's what I don't like about the Mexicans. They some lying, fucking backstabbing, two-faced sons of bitches.
Mm.
They do that shit. And I'm not saying that because I'm a racist, and I'm not saying that because I just want to put it on for effect. I'm saying that because I left Philadelphia. I moved to Texas, where I was all around a bunch of Mexicanos. I got a goddaughter that lives down there. She was born in Guadalajara. And I'm telling you right now, her own baby daddy called ICE on her because she ain't want him back no more.
Mm.
Mexicans are some cold blooded motherfuckers. Your baby daddy called ICE on you. Another Mexican, because he was mad that she moved on. Talk about Tio Tomas.
Mm.
Mexicans are some cold blooded summer bitches when they want to be. And if they can turn their back on their own, if they can turn their back on their own kind and their own blood, why wouldn't they do it to a black boyfriend that, from what I was hearing amongst the whispers, they wasn't so happy about her dating a black boy from Louisiana?
No, of course not.
There's a lot more to this situation than people are giving it credence to. But once again, I find it very sad that all of this immature shit that these kids were involved in has now turned into one of the biggest racial conversations in this country. And all during an election cycle? Like, let's just be real. There's a lot more to this conversation. And if Mr. Metcalf wants to be mad at the blacks, then he needs to be mad at the Mexican boy who was on the team with his sons who invited the black boy there. You want to know why everything is about race? Got good stuff? Because it's currency in America. See, the truth is America loves racism because racism creates money. It creates bank exchange. Racism has probably been one of our greatest monetary tools in the history of this nation. Redlining is good for business, for the country. Discrimination, good for business, for the country. Segregation was good for business, for the country. Racism has made a lot of money for this country. And a great scapegoat because rather than being honest about what people really don't like about each other, they get to use something as stupid as race. as their excuse. Tell me I'm wrong.
Nope.
See, if you actually got white racists to be honest about why they're jealous of black people, it would be the most pathetic thing in the world, starting with the differences in anatomy and parts of their bodies just below their navels that they wish they had, that they women want so much. Or the simple fact that a good share of the people from our community have the ability to learn, adapt, create without proper or formal training. The way they can assimilate, the creative side of it all, music, art, science. There's a lot of things that black people do naturally that, let's just be honest, a lot of white people have to work really hard at learning how to do. That's just what's real. That's not me being racist, and that's not me being petty. That's me telling the truth. There was a movie that most Def starred in about a black surgeon who never really became a surgeon, but he taught white surgeons who went to school over there at John Hopkins how to do complicated procedures that came to him naturally. They had went to school. They couldn't figure out how to do these things. They had to rely on the black man who had no training, who was able to show them how to do it. And that's not that. That's a fact. Now, I'm not saying that every white person is jealous of black people. I'm not saying that. But there are a certain core group of people that are. Yeah, he cured blue babies. There is a certain core group of people who are. And unfortunately, a lot of them are in politics and in government.
Mm.
A lot of them have lied and weaseled their ways into positions of power to create these divides that the rest of society has been forced to adhere by because it's called the law. Let's just be real. I'm not saying that it's that way for everyone. I'm saying there's a core group of those who it is very real for. And they have their own little weird little groups and their weird little clubs. And they weasel their way into power, seats of influence. And they sit there and they mess with society until they can get the reaction that they want and then say, oh, see, this is why, this is why.
Mm.
Because that's what they're doing with this case. They took something as simple as misbehaved high school children who made bad choices in a moment, and rather than using it as a teachable moment, they decided to turn it into a race riot. Because I guarantee you, if this was not an election year, I do not think this case would have gotten this much press.
No.
This is Texas politics. It's ain't got nothing to do with them kids. And whoever poured, allegedly, into Jeff Metcalf's cup and then turned on the camera so he could say all of that shit that he said and then posted it up online. What was the purpose in that interview? Is anybody going after the content creator that shared that content with us?
No, no, not at all. They're
Is
doing that to
anybody going after that
inflame.
content creator? Hmm? Why is nobody going after that content creator who sat there with that man who appeared liquored up
Hmm,
and 9 times out of
hmm.
10 gaslit him and got him feeling nice and juicy so that he could say all of that shit? Because the truth is, whoever that person was that did that particular interview, they wanted to inflame America. They couldn't wait to get that and post that up online. They posted it up on TikTok, and y'all know TikTok algorithms run like a madman. That was done strategically. Sarah Fields is her name. Well, Sarah Fields, hopefully this soundbite will get back to you. You a racist fucking piece of shit bitch. You want this country in an uproar because the truth is, and what grieving father make a fool of himself. And then you took it and posted it up online when you knew exactly what the hell it was going to do. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Why would you share that? Unless you wanted to inflame all of America. Am I wrong?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, she on Facebook inciting? I haven't been on Facebook in a long time. She over there on Facebook inciting, huh? Tell me something. Why hasn't nobody shut her social media pages down
Mm.
for race baiting? Why hasn't she been reported to the point that her accounts have been shut down? Because what she's doing intentionally. Ain't nobody need to see that shit, and ain't nobody need to hear him talk like that. Nobody. If he wanted to talk like that, somebody should have made him do it on his own social media. But no, 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 no. They had a little interview.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. Yamoko says, thank you for shedding light on this. With the election year being a factor, did where this occurred happen to be in a redistrict voting county? Maybe we ought to do a little deep dive into Sarah J. Fields. Maybe she should get a little attention at what makes her so interested in hearing grieving fathers turn into full on racist. This is political. They've made it political and it's on some. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. Are you cool? Because you sound low to me.
Nah, I was having whatever. I don't know what was going on with this service. Service went out, but I'm here.
Well, I can barely hear you, so let me drop down and come back.
No, it's probably not you. Don't worry about it.
No, it really is
Hold
me.
on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, y'all. Y'all hear me? Hello? Okay. All right. Um, Yeah, man. You know, I don't think these kids know what's really going on right now regarding the way politics, you know.
Nah, I can't hear you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
They wildin'. They wildin'. They made this political. They've turned this into politics. They've turned it into a
Yeah.
racial divide. This is what they want.
Yeah. On purpose.
And the second you start adding people like Charleston White to the mix, I question everything you got, G. I question everything you got going on after that because he's a race baiter by profession.
Mm.
And for him to go and jump from one side to the other, like the way he played on Charlie Kirk's death, so that he could monetize all of that crap and make all of that money. Like, does nobody not notice this is the second white boy in less than a year that he done made money off of? He's doing his job. He's like that guy that was on the plantation where anytime somebody tried to escape and make it to freedom, he would sit there and find out their escape plan and then go back and tell boss.
Yep.
I don't even understand how people still even watch him. I don't understand how people still even encourage that what he did to that family. Cause I wouldn't put nothing past it that whoever was orchestrating things allegedly behind the scenes with this case encouraged him to get close to the Anthony family, gain their trust, and then manipulate them into going along and keeping everything cool until it was time for the hammer to drop. And then up, he flip and switch.
My thing is, who is behind the scenes orchestrating these interactions? Like, how did Charleston White even get in the midst of these people? That's the question I got.
He probably contacted them and they recognized him from being viral. Have you listened to them? These are very humble people. They not
Mm.
very keen. They not very keen. He probably came saying a bunch of stuff, saying, "Hey, I know I do a lot of controversial stuff, but here it is, and I'm from Texas and I can help you out. And I bet you I know some people and I'll be able to do something and do this and do that." Like everybody keeps talking about they keep talking about the spokesperson that they had that allegedly was responsible for, or I shouldn't say allegedly, he was charged with it for shaking a child into the point where the child can't talk.
Mm.
Who thought it was a good idea for that to become your spokesperson? With a case like this, I hope he wasn't introduced to them by Charleston White. And I'm really curious because let's wake it up. Where's Dr. Candace Matthews? Because she showed up to the court and she came to bring the paperwork to expose the judge and to expose the DA and do all of that. But she also thanked Charleston White.
Yeah. Mm.
I want to know how she feels about what Charleston White got going on there.
Mm.
Because if she wants to do her exposure, oh, there's plenty of stuff she can dig up on Charleston White.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be a lot more entertaining than the DURGS paraphernalia that she likes to pull up on other people, or the dirty draws from hotel rooms with SCX workers that she likes taking and shaking out on camera. What you shoot? What you shouting out that weirdo for?
Hmm. Hmm.
Especially as pro black as they supposed to be. Haven't they seen
Maybe they don't
the
know.
kind of content he does? How wouldn't they know? Everybody knows who and what Charleston White is in the great state of Texas. Everybody know. I mean, literally, she came up there and said what she had to say and did what she had to do. And then the next thing you know, within 24 hours, Charleston White was flipping. It's like they got this whole thing set up.
That's likely what it is, to be honest.
It's all feeling really, really, really orchestrated. Nancy Grace is interviewing him, Jeff
When?
Metcalf. Oh Lord Jesus. Right
Wait,
now.
right now? Hold on.
You
Nancy
know, he
Grace.
already sat with Megan Kelly
What channel is Nancy Grace? What
on Nancy
channel is it?
Grace.
Is it
On
a
Nancy Grace. That's the name of her
she
channel.
oh, she has a channel.
She on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay. Let
Hold
me
on a
see.
second.
I'm out, yeah, I was about to pull it
I'm
up.
I'm I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, I see it's premiering right now.
Just follow us on homicides. And if you're on the go, please join us on your favorite podcast app where you can get all our content where we, in our way, seek justice. Freeing
Is
Hugh
it done?
Carmelo would be a huge step towards ending racism.
Okay. Here it is. Let me see. I got it
Free
right here.
Carmelo, free Carmelo. I'm looking. Yeah, it just went off.
Yeah, it just finished. I see.
They don't watch her show. Then don't watch her
Oh,
show if you think she's a grifter. The Anthony's are garbage. MAGA. Babe Carmelo is dumb. F Carmela. Free Carmela. Like, this is insane.
these people are pathetic.
Like, these comments are ridiculous. Tonight with us live, Austin Metcalf, just 17 years old, stabbed dead. Joining us now, his father. This after Carmelo Anthony found guilty in Austin's stab death at a high school track meet. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
Yeah, they politicizing the hell out of this. Okay, let me.
Anthony, guilty. Joining us tonight, a very special guest, now known across the world as Austin's dad. Jeff Metcalf is joining us.
Nancy Grace got that Ozempic face.
Over 100 death threats. Okay, let me just remind everyone, you're the victim. Your son, your twin boy, was stabbed through the heart with a piercing stab that not only punctured his heart, but was so brutal, so vicious, it went all the way into Austin's bone in his chest. There was no way he could survive, even though his twin
Did it go
brother.
into his bone or it go into his heart?
Right. The bone comes before the. Never mind.
To save Austin's life. On that body cam, you can hear the twin screaming, screaming, praying, screaming all at once,
What video?
trying to save
What
his
video she
brother's
say?
life. And somehow
It wasn't a body cam
getting death threats.
because we talked about the body
The
cam.
body cam wasn't working. The
Right. In
body
the
cam wasn't
beginning, it wasn't.
working.
They didn't turn it
I
on.
wish I had an explanation for it.
So what's he talking about?
Everyone understands. I mean, I understand people can be upset about the verdict and it didn't go the way they wanted to, but I mean, it was a fair trial, and now they're claiming it's not. And I mean, I understand they're going to look for any avenue. They hope and pray that they could get an appeal. I understand it's due process; they're entitled to it. I really don't. I think the judge did a good job of keeping everything under control and in order, and all procedures were followed correctly. So they're entitled to an appeal. I honestly don't think it will be granted, but that's the way the system works, and the system also works by being convicted of murder, also. So
Now, that's important, Mr. Metcalf. You stated convicted of murder. He was not convicted of manslaughter. He was not convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The jury knew about those possibilities. He was convicted in first degree murder. And I want to clarify something that we have heard over and over and over, that this was an all white jury. It was not. That is a lie. There were Asian jurors. There were, I believe, this off the top of my head, 3 Hispanic jurors. There were jurors that were from Middle East descent.
yes,
No, none of his peers though.
Those are not white jurors.
But they're not of his peers.
And I'm referring to the Pettit jury. The Pettit jury, not the pool of 200 that you bring in to strike the jury. The Pettit jury is the 12 jurors and the alternates. In the Pettit jury, there were Hispanics, Asians, and people of Middle Eastern descent. So why is it just so convenient for people to say it was an all-white jury, it wasn't fair? That is not true.
Pause for a second.
they need a narrative to spin.
A narrative to spin.
That's what he said.
They're worried. They're worried. They're worried. If they got him or Nancy Grace. Did you notice how many times she said the word STAB in the first 90 seconds? She had to say it at least 15 times. Like, this is the Nancy Grace that I remember from the OJ trial. You remember what she was like during the OJ trial?
I didn't know about Nancy Grace until recent, really.
Nancy Grace was insufferable.
Was?
She, I don't know how many different ways she called him an unaliver. I don't know how many different ways. She would have experts that would come in and talk about the evidence with her, and she would argue with them about their evidence, saying that they were wrong. And they were looking at it wrong.
That's crazy.
She would argue with experts. She did it with this case too. She brought in a medical examiner that was talking about Austin's injury and how it happened. And she was sitting there arguing with him. She was like, come on, you know that. I mean, how fast did his cavity fill up with the red juice? You gotta make people understand how terrible this was. Like,
Wow.
okay, go ahead.
You
Keep
piece of
going.
work.
They need a narrative to
Yeah.
spin. They're hanging on for dear life at the end of the rope, and they're running out of time, and they're running out of things to say, and they're desperate. I was stunned. I don't know if you were, Mr. Metcalf, when the defense did not put the defendant on the stand, because in every self-defense case I have ever prosecuted or investigated, you really have to hear from the defendant. You have to hear their side. Nobody can. Self-defense is when you, the defendant, are in immediate fear of serious physical bodily harm or death. Immediate fear that you're going to die.
Gee.
Save time creating content and generate a high quality. That you're going to die. Who else can describe your immediate fear other than you? Nobody. That said, he chose to take the Fifth Amendment. He did not testify. We can only wonder why, but well, I've definitely put the cart before the horse. Let's start at the beginning. I want to start with where you were and what happened the day that Austin was killed.
Exactly, Auntie Leah. Yes, she brought in
Hey,
Tisa.
I was standing in
That
this
was her
room.
expert. That was Nancy Grace's expert
It was Coach Jackson. When? He said he had
during the Diddy
procedural
trial.
court on Oxen. Oh, yeah. Kirkendall Stadium. It took me about 4 minutes to get there. I live very close to Kirkendall Stadium. I was able to get there before, when they were putting Austin on the gurney. And that's when I saw his face and saw him and saw the blood. And when I saw his face, I've seen death before, and I knew he was gone. And that image will probably never be gone out of my head.
That's horrible.
As soon as I was screaming at the EMTs, what hospital? Once I found that out, I just turned into what I call survival instinct mode. And I went into, okay, where's Hunter? I need
I
to
feel
find
you,
Hunter.
Cat.
And so I went to Hunter. He was hysterical. I just tried to calm him down enough to where, we prayed together. I said, let's get in the car. I need to get you. Let's go to the hospital. We drove to the hospital. We're praying all along. I didn't really want to tell him what he already knew himself. When I saw the doctors walk in, I knew what they were fixing to say. And when they told us that Austin had passed away, Hunter just lost. We all lost it, but Hunter especially. And it took 5 people to hold him down. We had to get him sedated and just admitted for a little bit, and then we couldn't even see the body for hours because now it was a crime scene and they had to process the body. And so at that time, friends and families and students just started gathering at the hospital. And eventually, everyone heard the news. And from there is where I just started to understand what I needed to do, what needed to get done, find burial plots, arrange funeral arrangements. There was just a ton of things that had to be handled. And I was pretty much numb, I guess in shock maybe. Realistically, I think it's when God carried me the most. Because I was able to speak to some reporters and get the story out. And even to this day, when I go back and watch those interviews, I really don't remember a whole lot what I was saying.
Because you was not.
It's been very hard for everyone. But I want to point out something that some people I think are overlooking a lot is the minors that were there who saw it and who had to testify. And every one of those children are receiving counseling. And I can't thank, first, I want to say thank you to the parents for allowing your child to testify and do the right thing. Because I know, with me being swatted 6 times, my ex-wife Megan being swatted a few times, they were concerned. They were concerned for their own safety and for their kids' safety, which is totally understandable. But being able to, and this is why I think, I'm not for sure, but I think this is probably one of the reasons why the trial wasn't televised, because there were so many minors
Pause.
involved.
Pause.
They don't need to be.
Yeah.
Did he just say he was swatted 6 times
That's what he said.
at the same address?
I have no idea.
And he's the father of an unalivement victim. That's not even possible.
What do you mean? Why is it not possible?
First things first. One time being swatted. I don't believe he's moved.
6 times.
I don't believe he's moved at all. The Anthonys had to move, but I don't believe he's moved. So why would police dispatch keep fielding calls and sending out SWAT units to the same address 6 times? That's attached to an open case that's about to go up a trial. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
You're making sense. Yeah, he's putting the
Especially
10
not
on the
in
two. He's putting the 10 on the
especially
two.
not in Frisco.
He sounds like somebody that's just dramatic, putting the 10 on the two. Yeah.
Especially not in Frisco. They would know. Those units are small. That-
Mm.
I wonder if he's saying this just because it happened to Carmelo's family and he didn't want people to feel more sorry for them. So he
Yeah.
lied to say that it happened to him too. So that it could be, oh, well, they got swatted, so did I, and I'm the victim. I'm the victim. You want to know what? I want him to prove it. I want Jeff Metcalf to prove and show the evidence that he's been swatted 6 times.
He's not. He's like I'm white and I say so. I'm white. I said it happened. It happened.
Salute, Mizak. This dude is Wizak. Okay, I just wanted to. I'm listening. 6 times. Now that's funny because he said that he was swatted before, but he never said 6 times. He said that he was swatted twice. He said that he was swatted 3 times. Now he's been swatted 6 times.
Yeah, they had to relive this again, which tears me apart for them. And no one says, yes, I'm a victim, but realistically, all these other kids who saw this and have to live with it for the rest of their life, they're victims too. And the ripple effect to his friends, to our family, it affects everyone, not just my family and the Anthony family. And it's been really hard, uh, especially being under the gag order for so long, while I just had to sit by and watch everyone trash my son and my family and spread lies and mistruths. And to this day, there's a certain part of people in the society that they can't accept the verdict. They can't accept the truth that was presented at trial. Those were the facts. They weren't opinions. They weren't some made up crap. It was presented, and the jury made a decision based on the evidence. But you're right. For a defendant not to testify in a self-defense case, it raised huge questions just for me. I mean, if I was accused of something, yes, I would want to get up there and sing my song and tell him this is exactly what happened. This is what I was thinking, and this is what I did. For him not to even try to tell his side of the story tells me, or lets me form my own opinion about.
Well, what it tells me, Mr. Metcalf, is that
Oh,
he
Jesus.
could not survive cross-examination on his story. That his lawyers thought it would be too dangerous and too damaging to put him on the stand. That is why defendants typically don't take the stand, because they cannot survive cross-examination, or their story will unravel. For instance, if you did
Pause.
not intend
Pause.
to do the crime, why did you take a knife? And the knife has been greatly
But
Unless your lawyer is working for the other side, knowing that that's exactly how him not testifying would make it look. Because, like his parents said, they listened, they were instructed, and they listened. Because, see, him not testifying, it gives this kind of commentary life.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
said the same thing. And not only that, if he did testify, his lawyer would be forced to ask questions that could have possibly exposed details that they didn't want talked about during that trial.
exactly.
Like, they're sitting here saying he didn't testify because he wouldn't have been able to make it through cross examination. But what if he got up there and contradicted and said, no, all of these people that just testified against me lied on me? That's not what happened. This is what happened. That's what happened. It would have been enough to possibly create a real space for reasonable doubt,
Yeah,
which would have made it harder for the DA at deliberation. Okay, I'm just okay. All right, I guess we can go on.
you
Fair
take a
use.
knife, and the knife has been greatly belittled in the press. The knife has been referred to as, hey, it's not even a deadly weapon. It's 1 inch. No, it's not. It's just a little shorter than the K-bar knife used in the Brian Koberger slaughter. Look, I want to see it
Oh
again, please.
wow.
That is a deadly weapon. I mean,
They
the
didn't.
law
I didn't
is
see it.
whatever causes a crime,
Oh, it's a
causes a murder, is a
It's
deadly
like a
weapon.
little.
It can be a
It's like a
car,
little.
it can be
A little
fists, it can
pocket
be
knife.
feet, it can be anything, a baseball bat, that results in a death. That is
Is
a
he
deadly
sitting
weapon.
over there?
So I don't know why
Is he
people are
sitting over
trying
there
to
putting dubs
minimize
on it?
this. I think I know why, Mr. Metcalf, because the fact that you take, as you and I have discussed many times, obviously off air, my son plays soccer, my son did track, uh, basketball, you name it. He's never taken a knife to a track meet. Why did Carmelo Anthony take a knife to a track meet?
That question only he can answer, and I guess we'll never know. I need to give credit where credit's due. Bill Rosinski, the ADA, Greg Willis, the DA, and the entire team of attorneys and investigators. They did an outstanding job, and they worked, I know for a fact, 7 days a week, 2 months before the trial. They didn't have a day off. They were prepared. They did their homework, and be honest, Bill destroyed even their witness. And after seeing the performance that Bill had done with the previous witnesses, I'm 100% sure that had a lot to do with them saying we cannot put you up on the stand. This prosecutor will destroy you.
Everyone's loving my idea to add stuffed crust or best deal ever for the same price. It's crazy.
This
They're
this
trying to make
prosecutor
they're trying
will
to get
destroy you.
maximum effect to make sure that there's not a retrial.
Summertime expenses stacking up fast. For many, the only option is swiping that credit card, leaving you trapped in a cycle of high
Oh
interest
Lord
debt.
Jesus.
But go to American Finances, talk to them. They look at your current debt and can show you how your home equity can work for you. Imagine rolling that high
Nancy
interest
Grace.
debt into one very manageable monthly payment. No upfront fees, zero pressure from salary based consultants. Why is that important? Because they're not on a contingency fee. They're not salespeople that are going to get a cut if they sell you their services. Very now convicted in the murder of Austin, your teen boy. This is what they have to say. Everyone actually lied on the stand. Everyone. All of the witnesses' statements were inconsistent. All of them.
We called about 17 eyewitnesses, and it was a very diverse group of young men and women that came into court to testify. And the jury that saw that quickly realized this case was never about race. This case was about murder, plain and simple.
That's our friends at CBS 11 and Fox. First, you were hearing Mrs. Anthony speaking, Carmelo Anthony's mother. She's sitting here along with Mr. Anthony. And you know what, Mr. Metcalf? I get it. Let me see Mr. Metcalf, please. Mr. Metcalf, I swear to you, if the angel Gabriel came down from heaven and told me to my face that my son or my daughter, my twins, had committed murder, I would say, you are a liar. You're lying. I wouldn't believe it because I don't want to believe it. So I understand where the parents are coming from. I get it. She says, but that is actually a phrase, an argument that I would argue in closing arguments until I was blue in the face. Do you believe that every one of the state's witnesses are lying? All of them are lying, and he is the only one telling the truth. Does that make sense to you? No, because it's not true. But that is what the Anthony family, they truly believe that all the witnesses lied. You were there, you were in court, gavel to gavel. What did the witnesses tell the jury under oath?
Well, when she talks about discrepancies, there were some as far as the total exact recall of every detail, but every single witness said he was the aggressor. He was asked to leave multiple times. One witness even testified, a couple of witnesses testified, they even heard Austin tell him, hey, I don't want to fight you, man, and attract me. And I understand because grief has many different stages, and denial is one of those stages. And I think that's where they're living in right now. I think it would be hard to accept the fact that your son is going to prison. I mean, I understand it, but you also have to understand and show they haven't shown any accountability or remorse, and that's what I have an issue with. It's always playing the victim on their side, which the true victim in this whole case is my son Austin. He's the one who was stabbed to death in the heart with a knife by your son. So I'm sorry you're in denial, but the facts have come out. You're going to have to live with those facts, and you're going to have to live with the fact that your son is a convicted felon murderer who is sentenced to a time in prison. And that is the cold, hard truth. Now, you can hang your hat on an appeal, and I understand if I'm a parent, I would do everything possible also to try to save my son. I understand from a parental point of view. But my parental point of view is if my son did this, I would hold him accountable. I would make him apologize. I would be profusely telling the other family, I am so sorry. Is there anything I can do to help? I can't believe this happened. And that was not the reaction. It was from day one. Family members from this family, Kevin Hayes posted a long list of just blatant lies, saying he was jumped, his phone was broken, there was a big fight. And I hate to try to paint the other side like they're trying to lie, but the truth is they all came out with a bunch of lies. Oh, it wasn't a knife, it was a teeth sharpener. Oh no, that's been debunked. My boys were actually under the tent when Carmelo
I hate when I
walked
hear people
under the
use the
tent.
word debunked.
Didn't walk up on him. We were already there. And as far as the video,
You say what?
Like I don't know. I've always I don't know why. Maybe it's just all of the time on YouTube, but anytime I hear people use the word debunked,
Mm.
liars use the word debunked. That's been debunked. That was debunked. Like, stop. Stop. I don't like that word. That's like a word that people that create narratives use.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just really simple. Well, they said it was this, they said it was a cleat sharpener and you know, the evidence says something different. Like you don't you're talking like you've been coached.
Exactly.
But yeah, okay.
Debunked.
up on him. We were already
Yeah.
there. And as far as the video goes, yes, I've seen the enhanced video. The whole encounter between him and Austin lasted about 12 seconds. And you could see a push to the shoulder. Doesn't even make him take 3 steps back. It's a push. And then there's an immediate stab. Immediately. And
Well,
I mean,
Well, is it true, Mr. Metcalf,
Hold on,
two
pause,
witnesses stated,
pause.
and I want to circle back to what
yeah,
we
12
learned at
seconds.
trial.
12. I mean, when you in the middle
No,
of a
hold on a
fight.
second. He said there was a push, and then instantly Carmelo went into action. At what point in time
Yeah,
did he go and get it out of his bag?
that don't sound to me.
Because
That
they
don't
all
sound right.
said it was in his bag.
Right.
So was he holding the
So
bag?
he had it on him. Is that's the lie you trying to run with?
Well, no, they said that from what the testimony given by the kids was, is that he went into his bag and got it out,
Right. Right.
but there was a scuffle first. So yeah, and that's not what's in the police report either. Okay. Mm,
Okay.
I tell you,
Witnesses stated, I
people
want
get
to
to make
circle
it up
back
as
to
they go
what we
along.
learned at trial, not what was said before or after, but what evidence the jury heard. Isn't it true? Witnesses stated that Carmelo Anthony said, touch me and you'll see what happens. That does not sound like self-defense. That sounds like provoking. By the way, that video we're showing you is from our friends at NBC. Didn't that come out in court, or do I have it wrong? Our friends at NBC. Didn't that come out in court, or do I have it wrong?
Yes, it did come out in court, and yes, he did say that. There was also some other things, some more colorful language that was used that he used, but I'm not gonna use that language on here.
He gonna say, yeah, you
There was
right.
Oh, he not going what?
gestures and
Right.
words that were also used. that was just basically antagonizing.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Mr. Metcalf.
Yes.
Under the law, we look at when you have a self-defense case, the first thing you do is say who's the aggressor. In this case, Carmelo Anthony, now convicted of murder by a jury that is not all white, goes over your son's tent. They're all seated. Most of them are seated under the tent. It's drizzling. I've been to a million games, a million track meets, soccer, football, you name it. It rains and everybody just sits there. It's no big deal. It's kind of expected. You're going to get rained out. You're going to be in the rain. But Carmelo Anthony goes under your son's team tent. Nobody does that. You think Wemby of the Spurs, Wembanyama is going to go sit on the Knicks bench? No, you don't do that. Nobody does that. So why would he go unprovoked? Had never met your son. That was established too. Goes under your son's team tent with a knife. That makes him the aggressor under the law. He was repeatedly asked to leave. He says, touch me and find out what happens. With his hand in his pack on the knife. Your son goes like that. He takes out a knife and stabs him in the heart. That is what happened, according to all the witnesses. Do I have it right, Jeff?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what happened. I mean, in Texas, there are elements you have to meet for self-defense, but if provocation is involved, and also a lot of people don't understand the law in Texas. Yes, we have a castle doctrine. Yes, we have a standard ground doctrine. Neither of those applied in this situation, right, if you know the law. We have a lot of armchair attorneys out in Facebook that think they know everything, which cracks me up. But when you look at the law itself and apply the 5 elements of self-defense in Texas, he didn't meet those. And the jury was showed the evidence, and they determined that he was guilty. I guess there's not much more I can say other than which he would have testified, because the big question remains, why? And I'll be honest, once that verdict was read that he was guilty, his parents and his advocates got up and left. They left that child. For sentencing, they weren't there. She came in and read and did 2 question statement and then walked right back out, which was Kayla, and they weren't there for victim impact statements or sentencing. They left that boy by himself to sit there to hear how many years, and then to hear from our side of the family, and they weren't there. They abandoned that child. I actually felt sorry for him at that moment. I could not believe it.
You're on cross-examination. Who is our next sponsor? Well, here is a clue.
18 jurors, including alternates, and on that jury pool, there were 6 minorities of the 18. Okay, all included 6 minorities on the jury.
You're right, Dave Mack. 18 jurors, including alternates, 6 non-white, consisting of 3 Hispanics.
Why do y'all keep saying non-white? You're not saying black.
Right.
And Asian.
That's the trick bag they're doing.
One-third, 33.3% non-white. Okay, that's one fallacy. The other fallacy is about the sentencing. Mr. Metcalf, isn't it true Carmelo Anthony could have been sentenced up to 99 years behind bars, but he got 35.
Wow.
And eligible for parole after 17 and a half. I mean, he could still be out by 40.
And a lot of times in self-defense cases, the conventional wisdom is you're not going to win on self-defense unless you call your client. So I was hoping he would take the stand. I was hoping jurors in our community would get to hear whatever story he chose to tell.
And did Carmelo want to testify in his own on his
Whatever
own behalf?
story he chose to tell.
Based on everything, he didn't need nothing, because everything they said when it's self-defense, they have to prove it. They never proved it.
Hotels.com is where you go to choose from hundreds of thousands of
These are the
hotels.
parents talking.
I know it sounds terrible.
I mean, it's self-defense. They have to prove it. They never prove it.
That is from our friends at Fox News and the Breakfast Club.
Hmm.
Parents, and I get it. Their T-shirt says, "Believe Carmelo." They want desperately to believe their son. I would want to believe my son. I would believe my son, but the son never took the stand, ever. So there was nothing to believe. I want to go back
Wow.
to being in the
Wow.
courtroom. I want to go back to when
There was nothing
Austin
to believe.
was killed.
Hmm.
You stated, Mr. Metcalf, that you went to the hospital. You had Austin's twin with you, Hunter. How has this affected Hunter?
Lord Jesus. He
It's
gonna
obviously
cry?
changed him forever.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter is
Okay.
the strongest
They
person
practice
I
this
know.
performance.
He has
Mm-hmm.
shown me things I'm
They
not even
practice
capable
this.
of. The other night when he came by, we
They don't want
spoke.
another trial.
I looked him in the eye and I said, I need to have a chat with you. And I said, when you stepped up on that witness stage to read your victim impact statement, you were a boy. When you stepped down, I saw a man.
You
I've been
know
trying to
what?
teach
I'm
him,
done.
and I've been drilling it into his head for.
Such cap.
He said when you stepped up there, you were a boy, and when you came down, you were a man. He said that. This is them trying to do damage control from all of his little racist crap.
Mm-hmm.
Because the truth is, all of that racist crap has probably made it hard for them to get around the fact that he deserves another trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Ooh. Oh, they working it.
They trying.
I guess that's them trailer Indian tears. He gonna cry us some trailer Indian tears.
Hmm.
Kid, go ahead. You.
Well, I thought you
Mm,
said you were done.
there it is. They were
Hmm.
done.
I thought you said you were done.
They're done. I mean, look. I mean, I'm
Well, they're
done.
not done.
We can listen.
They're
I'm
not done.
like, oh my god.
I've
Oh,
been trying to teach
I done
him,
heard it.
and I've been drilling it into his head for years. Learn communication. Learn how to articulate your words to express yourself and your feelings in a way where people can understand and identify. I said it will. Communication is a key for everything. Your relationships, your wife, your business, your friends, your family.
His
It's
wife that
all
he's
about
no
being
longer
able to
with.
be understood and effectively
Mhm.
communicate that. And when he took that stand, I was really concerned because I knew how he felt about Carmelo. And he followed my testimony, which I myself became very emotional during my victim impact
He
statement.
followed my
I,
testimony.
as anybody who was in the courtroom, when I said grief is not sadness, grief is rage, pure, unfiltered rage. And from what people told me, because I really don't recall a lot of it until people told me, but they said I slammed my hand on the table, and I did tell him look me in the eye, and he never could raise his head the whole time and look me in the eye. But Hunter got up there, calm, cool, direct, powerful words, asked that man to look him in the face. Carmelo looked him up for about 4 seconds and lowered his head again, and then proceeded to tell him what he took from him without becoming emotional, without screaming or yelling, just very monotone, very matter of fact. And
when he stepped down, I'll be honest, I couldn't be more proud of my son ever, because I told him, I think when I was trying to teach you, you showed me that you have it inside you now. I know you have it. You can do it. And it made me very proud of Hunter. For him to be able to, at 18, after suffering the trauma, which I cannot even start to imagine, that he was able to maintain his composure.
He gonna be a
Express
junk just like his
himself
daddy.
articulately, and then walk away. Because I'll be honest, when I'm within 5 feet of the person who killed my son, I'm just glad there were a lot of bailiffs in that courtroom, because it was very, very hard to keep my composure. And I can't imagine an 18-year-old boy who doesn't have 60 years of wisdom like I do, displayed like he did better
he's
than me
60?
controlling himself. So I tip my hat to Hunter.
You were stating that you took him with you. He was in the car with you when you guys went to the hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
And what you were going through. What was Hunter doing at that time at the hospital?
He was he was totally hysterical when I got to him in the locker room. I had to try to get him under control. I just grabbed him and hugged him and prayed. And I had to get him to at least control his breathing at least a little, just so I could get him under control enough just to get him to my car. In the car, he's still hysterical. We're still praying. I'm driving like a maniac to the hospital. And I didn't want to say it, but Hunter said, "Dad, I saw his eyes roll back in his head. I saw his soul leave his body, and mine went with it." I didn't know how to respond to that. It crushed me. Still does.
When you walked out of the hospital that day,
Lord
Whoa!
Jesus.
Any pizza and any toppings, but just not
All
any
right.
Domino's.
Well, I mean, okay,
She got
because
the
it's still
ads
like,
on. She got the ads.
when you
She got
walked
the
out
ads
of the
on.
hospital,
because you know it's about to,
and
it's
you
gonna turn up.
being told that Austin was dead. What went through your mind? What were you feeling? I mean, there was no place to go, nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing could help, nothing could fix what had happened.
No, but I will say this. The support that showed up at the hospital, there were probably 50, 60 students, parents, family, friends. We had so many rooms full and out in the courtyard. I mean, there were over 100 people there, and that helped. I didn't feel alone, and the support, I could feel God doing His work, and He knew what we needed.
You're
And
talking a lot of
the
God.
support system that we have now in place for Hunter, myself, Megan, it's I can't thank these people enough. And for the outpouring of support from people all across the nation that I don't even know, who send very, very nice text messages, or even actually call me sometimes and just express to me, they tell me I'm some sort of inspiration, or I mean, I'm just a man, and God works through many people in many ways. I'm nothing
He's
special.
an inspiration.
But
Well, not
I do believe
to the majority of the public, you're very special, and you stand for something, which is a burden and a compliment, but it's a burden because everything you do or say is going to be scrutinized, and
Yes.
it will mean something, either good or bad, to the crime victim community, which is millions and millions of people. And I want to share something that you said to me during the trial. I was away, I couldn't get to you. And the jury was deciding on the sentence. And you said, jury is deciding punishment as we speak. I wrote back, what is your hope? I was referring to what do you think would be a fair sentence? And what you wrote back, I will never forget it because I was with my twins,
Oh
as you
Lord.
know.
Well,
And I wrote, what is your hope? And you wrote back that my son will walk through the door again. So it seems to me this whole
they both
time,
crying. Okay. You know
What?
what? We got like 15 more minutes, but they
What is your hope? That my son will walk back through the door? That's never gonna happen. And as a parent who's lost a child at the hands of another child, you know that. You know that. Yeah, they're trying to humanize him because he made himself look like
because
a
he did
pure
that
demon
because he did that dumb
with all
shit with
his
the yeah,
watermelon felon.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So like I said, they can use that against him during the retrial,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
and they
All
should.
that shit. They weren't expecting people. Ooh, they worried. They
Thank you,
worried,
Lady
worried,
Classic.
worried.
Appreciate you, Lady
Ooh,
Classic.
they worried. Salute, lazy. Ooh, they worried. Oh, yeah, they worried. And she was talking to him during the trial. She
Mm,
was.
mm, mm.
They friends or something?
Apparently,
Mm, mm, mm,
apparently.
mm. What are you hoping for? What's your hope? Mm. Yeah, Nancy. Nancy is nasty business.
Mm.
I don't even want to listen to the Megan Kelly because I heard the Megan Kelly was bad.
This the most I can do. I can't do no more. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
This
Mm-mm.
performative,
Mm-mm.
just performing. I mean, yeah, it's sad he lost his
He was a
son, but
boy when he stepped up there.
mm,
He came down a man. Just I can't. I can't.
yeah, man.
I can't. I can't. I want to. Ooh, it's cringe. It's so
Mm,
like. Uh, it's like wet dog shaking all over you, coming out of a rainstorm. Like,
uh, with slobber included. How about that?
yeah, yeah. Uh, mm,
Yeah,
ooh, greasy, greasy. Yeah, they're afraid he's gonna get a retrial. They're trying to find a way to make the public go back to just feeling sorry for him.
yeah,
Because the truth is public opinion at this point in time matters. It's going to matter. It's affecting everything in the backdrop. And Nancy Grace is Nancy Grace. But make you no mistake about it. Nancy Grace is about as much as a low key supremacist as I've ever seen. The only time I've appreciated her commentary is recently was with the Diddy thing. The only thing I got pissed off with is that she pulled Tisa in as her courtroom person, and I said, "Oh well." I was like, "Well, there goes your credibility." But I mean, the truth is what she wanted was somebody who was gonna come in and put dubs on it. Like it was funny though watching, because I watched that one episode where Nancy jumped in Tisa ass because Tisa was talking stupid, and she was
Mm.
like, "Are you gonna get to what actually happened? Well, what did they actually say? Oh, okay. Can you get to it?" I'm like, she don't even talk about Nancy Grace anymore. She don't talk about that experience at all. Ah, I'm sure they had a nasty exchange because teaser. I left a comment under the video and I was like, Nancy, you shouldn't have asked her what happened in the courtroom. You should have asked her what was going to happen in the future because she's a tarot card reader. She can tell the future. Oh, oh, good times, good times. But
That's funny.
no, like it's just, I guess a lot of people forgot about that. I'm surprised she ain't do no tarot card readings for the Diddy trial. Ah, but you know what? You wanna know what would be great if we could find some of Tisa's old tarot videos.
Let me see. Maybe we can.
That would be fun. I would like to see it because from what we was told by somebody who used to sit with her, she would promise readings and collect money for readings and nobody but and people didn't ever get
I don't see it. Oh wait,
it.
Tisa tells rise to fame from tarot to YouTube stardom. What does this say?
Tisa tells fans in a higher price, the prosecution team to go against Diddy big time. Now, I don't know about that, but a lot of people are just stumbling up Tisa in the last couple of years. I used to be a tattletale years ago, like before Tisa blew up. And back then, she used to read tarot cards. And I was in her chat one day, and I was like, hey, Tisa, what's going to happen with my YouTube channel? I don't know if I believe that about Tisa, but hey, I don't know.
It's breaking up.
Okay, it's just saying that's the only thing I can find about Tisa and tarot. That's it. So they said
Oh,
some. Yeah,
and that means that
yeah.
they wiped it.
Oh yeah, they cleaned that up.
Why? Why would they
Well,
wipe it?
why you think?
Why would they wipe it?
Tisa Tell. So it was Tisa Tell's tarot. Is that what it was? I don't know.
I don't know.
Tisa Tell's
I
Your
don't know.
Future. She just got rid of the Your Future and just said, okay, I'm just gonna be Tisa Tell. I'm telling on everybody.
And
I'm not telling your future.
I wonder if she could see her relationship with 50 Cent Jackson. There's so much that's wrong in this world, but what I will say is yeah, that was some bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
That was some bullshit.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, not buying it. It's is all performative. You can tell when something is performative, like from the heart, that's one thing. This was a performance.
Yeah, and it was also to bolster his GoFundMe. I'm sure that gets shared at the end, or she's posting it up on her social media to donate to this poor grieving family. You notice how many times he kept saying how everybody was traumatized and needed therapy.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm curious to see if anybody is going to question Aiden Ross. Yeah, because they're trying to walk away from that whole watermelon felon thing and all of that. I see that now.
No melon felon on that. No melanin felon. That's funny.
That was a good one. That was a
Okay.
ah. I don't know. How are you feeling about America these days, honey?
Huh. No comment.
You know, people are talking about that UFC fight. Apparently, I think a former first lady was disrespected or something.
Hmm.
I think they said something about Michelle Obama. I haven't looked into it. I'm just like, is nobody not noticing all of this racial shit? And I'm not gonna lie, the last couple of things that I've seen of Mr. Trump,
Hmm.
he don't really look like he all there. He don't. He's falling asleep on camera. He's I don't know, something ain't right.
Hmm.
Something ain't right. And yeah, there's a lot of strategic play that's going on. A lot of strategic play. But for whatever reason, this country can't seem to stay away from racial issues.
Not at all.
Why is that?
Well, like I said, it needs to be addressed and said or basically, dealt with honestly.
This isn't even lining up with his first administration. Like his first administration wasn't like this. Or am I remembering it wrong?
Hmm.
You know what? It was so funny. Speaking of off topic, but I'm glad that Ticket still reads my comments, even though he tries to pretend like I don't exist in real time. He was talking about President Trump and he got it right. He said he called him arrogant. He learned the word arrogant.
Ah,
It's not ignorant.
ah.
I was so happy for him. I'm like, look at you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Learn you a little something.
That's
Go
funny.
ahead. You know. You know what it mean now. Oh, good for you. He said he called him
That's a
arrogant. Like, good,
that's a
good.
damn shame. And he reads at
Ignorant.
a fourth grade level. Like,
I know. I know. And talks about how smart he was. And it's so funny because he was sitting over there doing Carmelo content talking about he should have been a lawyer because he would have brought up this and he would have brought up that and he would have did this and he would have did that. And I'm like, nigga, they would have thrown your ass out of the court. You can barely read.
Damn.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Sit there in the courtroom Your Honor, he's being ignorant and erroneous. I
And
mean,
ignorant.
jabronious and ignorant. What you going to stop it? Stop. But you know what? Everybody can dream. Everybody can dream. So bless his little heart. I'm just glad he learned how to say arrogant. I'm glad. I'm glad he went and he be chat the chat GPT a lot. So, maybe chat GPT helped him out. But yeah, no, good. Somebody said you said moo ha 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 ha. Oh, that's your belly laugh when you get to going with that one.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a feeling it's about to get it's about to get a lot worse. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know why. I just feel that
No,
way.
they're just getting it started. They about to turn it up.
I know. I know. I feel it. It's like
Well,
watching them
this
with
is
that monkey with that organ grinder and they start to cranking.
this is the perfect distraction, so people are not talking about the Jeffrey.
Ugh. They're doing everything to not talk about the Jeffrey. They're doing everything to not talk about the Jeffrey of it all. You wanna know what's funny though? For the first time now with new lawsuit coming out with Diddy and the minors,
Hmm.
I actually heard Murad start to acknowledge that there is a lot of similarities between the way Diddy operated and the way Jeffrey Epstein operated.
Finally, huh?
I've never heard anybody say that, but then again, that last interview that I did with Real Life, I started bringing up the Blackstein
Yeah,
comparison.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now I think
we gonna
people.
see.
Well, we'll see because I think people need to really peep the whole play when it comes to the espionage side of the game. And the reality is there's no need for Diddy or Jeffrey.
Not with
And
Palantir
yep,
and AI,
yep.
but they did need to collect all of what they was holding. Though they needed to collect. Think about that. In less than 10 years, they were able to gather up all that blackmail information, all of it. They've been holding on to Jeffrey stuff, and then they were finally able to get Diddy's. That's a
Once
hell
they
of a
got
blackmail
that,
book, man.
then they got the big beautiful bill.
I
And
know.
he's no longer able to be prosecuted for like, yeah, for the,
Anything
yeah.
for anything. So even if they were to try to bust down on him about the files, what they gonna do?
Yeah, nothing.
And as much as I hate to say it, this is all the Democrats' fault. They pushed all of this right to where it is. But then again, they had a vested interest in the files not coming out either. Like I think that's the part that I'm having the hardest time like reconciling with, that people really don't want to acknowledge that they're all in on it. They're all in on it. They're all It doesn't matter what side of
Mm-hmm.
the aisle you're looking at. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter. Why is nobody questioning why we are the only country that has not arrested not their soul?
Mm.
There's something really sick with this country because the stuff that happened in those files, the stuff that everybody's trying to avoid, they were done by lawmakers and politicians and judges
Mm-hmm.
and lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
prosecutors, and not just entertainers, not just movie stars, not just billionaires, scientists, tech people. It's something really sick in this country. There's a sickness, and they use stuff like racism and the racial divide to distract us from the fact that they just want to keep us at each other's throats so that they can keep hurting kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the part that bothers me more than anything. Cynthia says, I don't understand why we keep having e-file hearings in Capitol Hill. Yeah, keep having hearings, and yet then they're not forcing any of the real people to come forward, and they're barely even asking the hard questions. Like, my thing is if you're going to have all of these damn hearings, then can you start like pulling out the files and questioning people about what's in the files and stop asking them roundabout? Like, they're literally, I feel bad for victims that got doxxed. I feel bad for the victims that came forward because they're not protected. They're not protected at all. And they might not get touched now, but that don't mean that they won't get touched later. Ain't nobody talking about Ghislaine anymore either.
Hmm.
It's amazing. All they gotta do is start a bunch of shit. Now, wasn't Tyler Robinson just in court too recently?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this stuff right now.
Whatever. What's going on with that?
Mm-hmm. But damn, there's all kind of stuff happening. You heard about that one singer who got killed in a helicopter crash, and I just see something that says 8 killed in a B-2 bomber, B-52 bomber, Edwards Air Force Base. That's not far from here. That's close to San
The
Diego.
B
Wow.
52s.
Yeah, it crashed and killed people. Yeah, just now. There's all kind of stuff going on. I'm
Hmm.
looking because of course, we're gonna do the Tuesday tea. What do you think? You think you should do the weekend wrap up on Kick now? Maybe that'll probably make better sense. What do you think?
I don't know.
We got to look
We
into
need to
that.
figure it out. We need to see what it's. We need to see what it is, because our people like coming in over
Well, you
here.
could no, you
Okay,
can
we need
make
to
it. I
figure
got
it
ways of
out.
doing it. No, I got ways of doing it. I'm saying, have it on both in actuality.
Well, we can figure it out. We don't need to figure it out here.
Well, it's coming up, so I'm just speaking on it. I guess everybody's in a
I know.
with the whole situation with the UFC. Is it your UFC in front of the White
What
House?
about Jonathan Oddie Cat?
What? So was Jonathan Oddie what? What? What you got to say, Kat? Yeah, this literally just happened. The B-52 bomber crash. Wow. Okay, I'm a researcher, so I'm be looking into this right now. Mm-mm-mm.
Hmm.
He had his hearing a few weeks ago. Oh, Jonathan Oddie had a hearing. Let me look that
That was
up.
quiet. That was quiet.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I don't even see it on the news. Let me see. Hold on.
They're not going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about that at all.
It's not in the news. It's not in the news. Not at all. The last thing I got is News Nation. Diddy paid me for sex. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. They're doing all this so people. Yeah. Let me see search results. Okay. I got some work to do. I got some work to do. They're doing what they can to keep a lot of stuff out of the news cycle. That's just what it
When they
is.
are pushing this much fucking division as they possibly can at the front, it is because of what they are trying to sneak through on the back.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Meanwhile, they just
Yeah.
sitting down there literally in the dark in the U.S. Virgin Islands
In the dark. Ooh.
while they're busy
Okay.
trying to get the rest of Jeffrey Epstein's network reelected. Hmm. They ain't talking about that friend of Melania's no more either. They not talking about
Mm-mm.
old girl.
Don't get
Oh,
it.
the second that she said that Melania was on the payroll
Mm,
and she was a
mm,
worker.
mm.
Let's shut her up. They shut that down fast.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. I got some work to do. That's what I know. I'm sitting there looking and I'm like,
I
yeah, there's a
see.
lot going on, but there's also not a lot going on. So let me, you know, get busy. My boy over here, he over here sending me tracks because now we're in competition like we 20 years old. What is this? Jay-Z has gone too far with this Murad.
Yeah, I
Melodic
just saw
woman
Murad said something.
implications, 30th vinyl. Okay, he's trying to do reasonable doubt. Jay is Bubble Lip Sean is trying to release the 30th anniversary vinyl reasonable doubt through Target. I'm not
Why?
gonna buy that shit.
No, well, I'm trying to understand how is he going to do that when he doesn't own the masters?
Oh, you right. Mm,
He doesn't own the masters.
you right.
It's owned by the state of New York. Remember, they bought it off of Dame
Yeah,
for a very
they got it
unoppressive
today.
$1 million.
No, you're right.
So how is he releasing something that he no longer owns?
Mm,
The only way he'd be able to do that legitimately is if the state of New York sold them back to him.
mm. Mm.
Isn't that something? Or is everybody forgetting about it? We might need to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you gonna release a project that you don't own? In order to do that, you would have to the state of New York would. Now, see, this is interesting. They put Damon all of that tax trouble and forced him into that offering so that they could take the money and confiscate the money for all of that stuff. So he got forced into selling his masters, which if
Yeah.
he still owned them, there's no way Mr. Carter would have been able to release anything. We already knows he got bigs on lock. Did he have the state of New York press Dame Dash so Dame would be forced to sell those masters cheap so he could buy it back from the state and own it outright without having to pay Dame a fair share for it?
Mm.
Ooh, that would be nasty, wouldn't it?
Mm.
More importantly, why would the state of New York agree to do something like that? He got the state to force him to auction it off. And don't forget, nobody went to that auction to buy those masters. You remember
Mm.
Dame? He kept talking about it. He
Mm-hmm.
kept saying, y'all always talking about reasonable doubt. Y'all always talking about Jay-Z and how awesome he is and how great he is. But ain't nobody come to the auction to buy this shit. Ain't nobody come to the auction to buy it. What his masters ain't worth nothing?
Mm.
Ooh. I mean, if they were able to run around and tell everybody allegedly in the industry not to talk about Diddy and to pretend like they knew nothing about the parties or any of the dirty work that went on in the backdrop, why wouldn't they be able to allegedly run around and call everybody and tell them not to buy those masters? Why wouldn't he have done everything to possibly tank that auction to make sure that the only offer? Oh, that's greasy. Oh, no wonder they were pissed off about the casino. If New York State was willing to jump in and do the dirty work regarding the masters for reasonable doubt, why wouldn't they? Oh, maybe he was asking for one too many favors.
Mm. 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 Yeah. Maybe. All right. I've been on here long enough.
Oh,
It's damn near 3 hours. So this is how we do it.
oh, we've been
All right,
kicking it.
y'all. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've been
Yeah.
kicking it.
Maybe we'll come back. Maybe we'll do a pop-up on Kick. I don't know. Let's just start playing with this. For those who don't know, Jag is a partner, a official partner on Kick now, and we just gonna see how this play out because YouTube is playing. I'm gonna just tell y'all what I know. YouTube is playing, meaning she's just about to get to 125, but she should really be at close to almost a million. I think Kick will be a better platform for her to just get it off, but we're still gonna be doing stuff here. I think just gonna see how Kick works. Um, because you go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated. You dig?
Mm.
So yeah. But that's it. That's it. Yeah, we'll be back. And again, just don't be a salty bitch. That's all I really gotta say. Don't
Hmm.
be a salty biatch. There it is. That's what I was looking for.
Toodles.
Peace.